welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be working on the ceiling. That's right, I said the ceiling.
Previously on Gus the Struggle Bus. Yes.
Columbia, this is Houston. One small step for my man. Giant leap for mankind. Columbia, this is Houston. One small step for my man.
Welcome to today's video, guys. Today we are going to be working on staining and sealing and hopefully installing our ceiling boards. This means that the majority, if not all, of the insulation will be covered up and we will have a beautiful wood ceiling, and I am so excited about it. So let me go over what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be working with.
Hold up.
These are the ceiling boards that we decided to go with. They are cedar planks, they are tongue and groove, and they are about 3 inches wide and only 1/4 of an inch thick. We do not have a high top bus, and we did not do a roof raise. We tried to save headroom anywhere that we can. If you saw our ceiling framing out video where we put in our studs, we put them right next to the channels rather than on top of, so that we can just attach the boards right up there, so then we won't be taking up any more ceiling space. We put boards on either side, so we have more places to attach the boards to. And then we filled the whole thing with spray foam, which made it even more supportive. So the reason why we went with these boards is because they are so thin. We also went with them because they are beautiful, and because I love the way they look when other people use them. We also decided to go with tongue and groove because that is easier to work with the curve of the roof with. Also with the tongue and groove, it helps seal any cracks in between them and makes it more of a solid barrier. So this is what the planks look like beforehand. They are absolutely gorgeous. They also had a similar priced and a similar looking board in pine, but we wanted to go with the cedar. It had a little more knots on them. These are called knots, these little circles, and a little bit more grain to them. The pine was kind of solid and didn't have as much to it, and I really love the different textures and the different looks of this. The next thing that we decided to do is we want to stain the boards and seal them before we put them up. When I say seal them, is that we're going to put a water sealant on them, and we're going to put it on both sides of them, the back and the front. A couple people have stated that when you get this thin of a board, they will bow really easily with the humidity. So that's one reason why we gave them more points of contact to attach to the ceiling, and why we're going to put a water sealant on both sides. So now I'm going to go over how I chose a stain. This was an agonizing process for not only me, but everyone I know, because I would badger them and be like, what do you think about this one? What do you think about this one? Which might be one of my faults, because not everyone has the same taste as you. So when you ask for other people's opinion, most of the time they're going to give you what they like. So you really need to concentrate on what you like. So this was my test board. So I got a bunch of different types of stains, just the little kinds, and I tested them all out. I did little swatches for each one, and then I narrowed it down. So I picked out the ones that were way too dark or way too gray, and I narrowed those ones out. And then I just narrowed it down to 4. I picked the 4 that I thought I really liked, and then I finally picked 1. So this is the stain that I decided to go with. It is called Special Walnut, and it has a little bit, pretty much, of every color that I picked out. I really love the way this color turned out, and I love the way that it brings out all the grain and textures in the wood. So stay tuned after this very long explanation of our ceiling boards. If you can't tell, I am very excited for this. We are lucky enough to have this covered back garage to work into, and this is where I took the blower and just got out all the dirt and dust that I could, and this is where I'm going to lay them out to air dry. And I'm going to show you some of the material I'm going to be working with. So I just cut up an old t-shirt that had some holes and some stains on it to put my actual stain on. This is the stain I'm going to be using. It's the Min Wax, and it is the color Special Walnut, in case you do like the color. Then after that I have some gloves that I'm going to put on because I'm an extremely messy worker and stain will get all over me. I have my mask, stay protected. It's not an enclosed area, but it's still safer to be using around all these fumes. This is the top coat that I'm going to be using for the stain side. It's an interior water-based stain. I like water-based better because it doesn't make your color look all yellow. If you ever do stain something and then you put an oil-based top coat on it, it's going to give it that shine and it might make it look a little bit yellow. If that's what you like, then go for that. I want to keep the matte, rustic, more natural look, so I'm going with this water-based clear matte finish. Then on the back side, I'm going to be putting this exterior top coat to protect it from moisture or anything like that. So let's get to it. So we estimated that we will need like 21 point something packages to cover our whole ceiling. So 22 just to be safe. And we got a few extra just in case anything happened. So we got 25 packages in total. These boards are 8 feet long. There are 6 in each package. Because they are so thin, they're very brittle. They break really easily. They might crack. So we got a couple extra just in case anything like that happened. But what I'm going to do while I go through these is I'm probably only going to stain and finish 22 packages. If you are doing a build and you've ever been to Home Depot or anywhere to pick out wood, you know that you have to sort through it to find the good wood. You have to do the exact same thing with these. I don't love the way they're packaged because it's literally just a plastic wrap. And since they're so thin, these tongue and grooves can be easily dented or cracked or broken in. So what I'm going to do is while I'm sorting through them and taking them over to stain, I'm going to pick through each package and find ones that might not be great to use, and I'm going to set them aside. And if they do make a whole package of 6 and we don't end up needing them, then hopefully I can return them. Well, staining almost 140 boards took an entire day. It's a new day, and now I'm going to start putting the top coat on here to make them more water resistant. Some of the boards took on the stain completely different than the original color, which is a little bit darker than I wanted, but I'll just mix and match those boards along the ceiling so it'll have some contrast, and then put some of the darker boards, you know, in the closets and in the sections that you don't really see. But I am procrastinating, taking a break, and I'm gonna get to it. It's just me today. How you liking it so far? Yeah?
Feeling good. It's a new dawn. Drifting, birds flying high. Drifting, it's a new dawn. Drifting, birds flying high. Drifting, it's a new dawn. Drifting, birds flying high. Drifting, it's a new dawn. Drifting, birds flying high. Drifting, it's a new dawn. Drifting, birds flying high. Drifting, it's a new dawn. Drifting, birds flying high. Feeling good. It's a new dawn. Drifting, birds flying high. Feeling good. Drifting, birds flying high. It's a new dawn. Drifting, birds flying high. Feeling good. Drifting, birds flying high. It's a new dawn. Drifting, birds flying high. Feeling good.
Welcome to day 3. It took me another full day to put the oil-based water-resistant top coat on the backs of the boards. And now I'm on the last coat, which is on the front side with the stain. And this one is gonna take 2, maybe 3 coats on each board because it's a water-based stain, so it's really thin. So I'm gonna get going. My arm is getting tired just holding this phone up because I am so sore because I have to unload those boards out of the bus, all into the back garage. Then, paint all of them, then spread them out, then pick them all back up and put them all into the bus before I leave. So, everybody get out their very tiny violins for me and play me a song while I finish this last top coat. And I know you think I can't hear you, but while you're watching, cheer me on. I promise you I can. It helps. At least imagining it. Or I'm just going crazy and there's voices in my head. What's happening? How about that tongue and groove ceiling, huh? I think I'll put the naughty boards in the bedroom. You know what I mean. This guy back here, he knows what I mean. You're nasty. Have you ever lived out the plot of Groundhog Day? Except instead of a groundhog, it was paint fumes. This guy has, huh? And I tell you, not a good idea. You. I did it. I did it. That means I'm done, right?